A very warm welcome to all of you students. Today in this article, in this tutorial, we are going to discuss about the major project. When we are going to write project report, so many things will mention there. Let's talk about something about the major project. This tutorial relevance to MSc Computer Science 4th semester. This has been prepared by me. I am Suresh Kumar Thakur, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Indira Gandhi Government Arts and Commerce College, Vaishali Nagar, Bhilai. First, we look the input and output screen. When we are going to discuss about this thing, we just concern about the GUI design. A good user interface needs the following characteristic: clarity, to the point, familiar, responsive, reliable, attractive and efficient. Element of good design as the interaction mode is defined in such a way that it does not force a user into unnecessary to undesired action. Allow the interaction to the customized. Technical internal details are hidden from the casual user, designed for direct interaction with the object. In which we will try to reduce the memory loads of user. The demand are reduced for short-term memory. Shortcuts are defined. The layout of the interface is based on the real-world metaphor. Disclose the information in a progressive function. The interface should present and acquire information in consistent fashion. GUI must be to make the interface consistent, allow the user to put the current task into the context. Consistency is maintained across the applications. The path interactive model is created according to user expectation. A good user interface needs the following characteristic. This one, and we just take about in detail. Clarity. It is the most important feature of the user interface design. The purpose of the user interface design is interaction between pupil and system. If pupil cannot find out how an application works or where to get divert, then may get confused. For concise, it means to the point. Clarity is the user interface is great, but care should be taken so as to not fall into any trap. It is easy to add explanation and definition. The things should be kept clear and concise. Familiar. Familiar means something which appears same or something that was seen before. If you are familiar with something, it means you know its behavior. Responsive. Responsive means fast, and it also means that the interface provides a feedback. Consistent means reliable. Interface allows user to develop usage pattern of buttons, tabs and icons and recognize them and realize what are different contexts. The attractive, it means that the usage of the interface should be enjoyable. For example, to make interface an attractive, polishing button and icon to make them attractive, very attractive. And efficient, to make an interface efficient, it should be figured out as to what exactly the user is trying to achieve. All GUI have the following features in common, like they display overlapping window on a screen. Window are operated by pointing and clicking on the screen display. The screen display is similar in layout and presentation to the real document. Commands are consistent from the programmer to program. Now just talk about the process. The programmer process is the process is a series of steps that programmer follow to that a software engineer follow to come up with a solution to a problem. And software process is a set of activity and associated outcomes that produce a software product. Software engineers mostly carry out these activities. Many times the solution involves designing a product like a machine that meets certain criteria and accomplishes certain tasks. This process is different from the step method, which you may be more familiar with. These are 4 key process activities which are common to all software processes. These activities are software specification, software development, and software validation, and software evolution. These are the 4 key processes. These are the common to all processes that we will use to develop any software and package or build our project. We have just list out the process model which are used in the to design a project. Some example of the type of software process model that may produce a workflow model, data flow or activity model, and role action model. This topic we have already shown in a software engineering portion, so we don't think about to this go with this in a detail to discuss about these things. This is the soft build process. How can we are make any software and project? This some points I'm going to explain how software build. On the occasion the requirement is collected, it will provide to the 2 teams, development and testing team. After getting the requirement, the concerned developer will start writing the code. In the period in between, the test engineer understands the requirement and prepare the required documents. The developer may complete the code and store in the control version. After that, the code changes in the user interface, and these changes handled by one separate team, which is known as build team. This build team will take the code and start compile and compress the code with the help of build tool. Once we got some output, the output goes in the zip file, which is known as build. Build is known as an application or software or project that we will design. Then this particular build will be installed in the test server. After that, the test engineer or test team will access this test server with the help of the test URL, start testing the applications. If the test engineer found any bugs, he will be reported to the concerned developer. Then the developer will reduce the bug in the test server and fix the bug and again restore the code in the control version. This process continue until we get the stable build or applications. Then it hand over to the customer. This is the steps which are followed to build any software or build any project. Define the problem. First, define the problem. The developer or software engineer design process start when we ask the following questions about the problem that you observe. What is the problem or need? Who has the problem or need? Why is it important to solve? So first we need to define the problems. Who need what, because why. So first we need to define the problems. Why it is important to solve these problems. After that, second stage, background research. Learn from the experience of others. This can help us find out about existing solutions to similar problems. and avoid mistakes that were made in the past. So for an project designer or engineer design project, the background research in two major areas. First one, the user or customer. Second one, existing solution. Then specify requirements. Design requirements state the important characteristic that your solution must meet to succeed. Once the best way to identify the design requirements for your solution is to analyze the concrete example of a similar existing product. Then evaluate and choose solution. There are always many good possibilities for solving design problem. If you focus on just one before looking at the alternative, it is almost certain that you are overlooking is the better solution. Good designers try to generate as many possible solutions as they can. Then we choose the best solution. Look at whether each possible solution meets your design requirement. Some solution probably meets more requirements than other. Reject solutions that do not meet the requirement. Then develop prototype solution. Development involves the refinement and improvement of solution, and it continues throughout the design process, often even after product shipped to customer. Then a prototype is an operating version of solution. Often it is made with different material than the final version, and generally it is not as polished. Prototypes are a key step in the development of a final solution, allowing the designer to test how the solution will work. Then we come to the test solution. The design process involves multiple iteration and redesign of your final solution. We will likely test our solution, find new problems, make changes, and test new solution before setting on a final design. And then test the solution meets requirement or solution meets requirement partially or not. If our solution meets requirement partially or not, then based on the result and data, make design changes, prototype test again, and review new data. Again, we follow this step. If solution meets requirement, then converts result. To complete our project, communicate our result to other is the final report, and display board. Professional engineer always do the same. Now come to discuss about the testing. Software testing is the process of identifying the correctness of software by considering its all attributes like reliability, scalability, portability, reusability, and usability, and evaluating the execution of the software components to find the software bugs or error or defect. Now, the attributes of software which are used to test our project or software, that is the reliability, scalability, portability, reusability, and usability. There is a different types of software testing process. The first one is manual and automation. In manual, we are getting three again other type: white box testing, black box testing, and gray box. In black box testing, we find the two types of functional and non-functional. In functional, the unit testing, integration, system testing, and user acceptance testing. In context of non-functional, we get compatibility, performance, and usability testing has been going on there. Software testing provides an independent view and objective of the software and gives surety of fitness of the software. It involves testing of all components under the requirement service to confirm that whether it is satisfying the specified requirement or not. Testing includes an examination of the codes and also the execution of code in various environment conditions, as well as all the examination aspects of the code. In the current scenario of software development, a testing team may be separate from the development team. Why? So that information derived from testing can be used to correct the process of software development. Automation testing is a process of converting any manual test cases into the test script with the help of automation tools or any programming language is known as automation testing. Manual testing is a software testing process in which test cases are executed manually without using any automated tools. All test cases is executed by the tester manually according to the user's perspective. It ensures whether the application is working as mentioned in requirement documents or not. Test cases are planned and implemented to complete almost 100% of the software application. Test case reports are also generated manually. Now, after testing, we make test report. In test report will contain purpose of the documents and applications overview, the testing scope, metrics, qualities, types of testing performed, and test environment and tools which are used to test this project. And when we are going to design a project, after when we are going to deliver our project and we will build a project, then we need to specify and we need to maintain the manuals. One is a user operation manual and second was a procedural manual. In user operation manual, the documentation manual, we conclude specifications, design, implementation and testing perspective. In context of specifications, we need to mention formal specification, context diagram, data flow diagram. In criteria of design, we mention the flow chart and we conclude the ERD, entity relationship diagram. In case of implementation, we furnish the source code. We are going to furnish the graphical user interface. In case of testing, the test data, and after test the data, we get the test result. This also attach, this also maintain, or this also this also we need to have with the project. List of procedural manuals. This is known operating procedure. One is the operation manual and user manual. In context of operation manual, system overview, reference material and beginner's guide, and user manual, system administration guide and installation guide, the how your project will install in your system, and how the system administration, how the system is administrated, and beginner's guide, how the system operated, reference material and system overview. The system overview, which kinds of operating system needs to acquire the software, how many memory space acquired by the software. This kind of information included with this procedural manual. Now think about conclusion. A conclusion is the last paragraph in your research paper or the project, or the last part in our other types of presentation. Conclusion is in some way like your introduction. You stated your thesis and summarize your main points of evidence for the readers. You can usually do this in one paragraph. Restate the topic. You should briefly restate the topic as well as explaining why it is important. State your thesis. Briefly summarize your main points and the points up. Reference. The list of the reference contains the bibliography, informations about every source cited in the report. Such material are not included in the list of reference but rather in the part of the report dealing with the research, implementation, data and method. The list of reference contains the bibliography information. The list of reference is generally presented in alphabetic order according to the author's last name. The basic structure of the bibliography reference consists of 4 parts, each of which is described as: who, the writer, author or oral communications; when, the year of publications; what, the title of heading or the source written in italics; where, detail concerning and publication, edition, the place of publication, the publisher, publication series, the digital object identifiers, URL. This is the way how can we prepare the bibliography. Example, we get the reference of bibliography as many areas like books with unknown author. For book with unknown author, the basic detail concerning the source are to be indicated. If several works by the same author appear in the list of reference, they are listed in sequential order. Sometimes we are fetching the reference that is books and other publication with no known authors. In lieu of the name of the author, the title of the publication is indicated and placed in the list in alphabetic order. Sometimes we get reference from article sources. The listing of detail concerning article sources is handled according to the same basic principle. Additionally, for the general article paging by volume, the volume number of publication is indicated, preceded by the comma. Sometimes we see that some reference get from non-print source like personal communication. Non-print sources include interviews, telephone conversation, as well as other information, oral and non-print personal communications. Personal communications source should generally not be indicated in the list of reference, since the information gathered from such source is by its very nature unrecoverable, and because it may have come about as a result of writer's research. Electronic sources. The main objective in the document of electronic sources is to enable the reader to locate those sources in the event that he desired to do. Properly documented electronic source contains information about the authors, the year of publication, the title of the work, heading of the page, other information concerning the work, for example in the case of the audio CD, PDF document, remarks and clarify details about the type of publications, the date of access of the source material, date and the URL, and this electronic sources bifurcated in terms of online publications, email messages, videos and other similar sources, radio and television broadcast. Thank you, student. Thank you very much.